Hi everyone, this is Anna with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff. You get to see my face today because I decided it was a good day to give you a tour of my craft area. So us crafters, we have kind of a big range of things in our collection and how much room we have to work in our houses. So, you know, we start with a shoebox or a little kit, and then it can grow to be like more than fits in an entire room for some of us, right? So I just thought I'd show you an idea of where I work. Everything I do on a regular basis, I do right here on this table, and with this cabinet right here is where most of my things are stored. I do have an area in the basement where I keep some of my extra supplies, some of my retired stuff, but almost everything I do right here for all my videos and my classes and the projects I put on my website and all of that. So you don't have to have a ton of space to be able to organize your things. So I'll show you how I have my things organized, and hopefully it will help you have an idea of how to organize some of your supplies better. So this is where I work. Now you will know when I'm making my videos, this is where I am. I normally stand when I'm working. Sometimes I pull in my stool, and if I'm really having a lazy day, I grab my desk chair and I can bump it up pretty high and sit here and work as well. But this is my beautiful view I get to look at out the back of our house, the backyard. I can watch the kids playing out there, see the garden and the chickens and whatever's happening out there by with the barn with the trucks and the equipment and all that. So I really like working here where I can have the nice view outside. So let's talk about my work area here first. I'll open up the drawers and show you what I have here. Here I have all of my ink pads and markers organized with our storage by Stampin' Up. I love these. I love having them right here on my table and accessible, where I can just look at all the colors, grab the one I want, use it, and stick it right back. I have a few missing, of course, right now for a few projects I have in the works. All my Stampin' Blends markers are pulled out because I have a project coming up for that, so they are missing right here. But I have all my ink pads, my markers. I have my specialty ink pads stored down here, and all of my coordinating ink refills up here on top. My daughter organized these for me the other day so that each color is directly on top of the ink pad where it should be, of course. So we've got that. I do have a big paper cutter here. I do a lot of cutting for some of my classes, so I do have a big paper cutter that I use. I keep my Stampin' Up! Trimmer right here, handy and easy to pull out anytime I need it if I want to do some scoring real fast. So I've got my craft mat. I have a couple of little organizers here with my stamping blocks, my adhesives, my scissors, my take your pick tool, bone folders, those tools that I use all the time. So I keep them right in front of me. I didn't have a very good system for my adhesives, so I made a system right before this video. So I grabbed this little basket so I can throw all my adhesives in that when I'm done with them and keep them contained. Here's my little trash can to keep my scraps and any trash that I create. And over here on the right hand of my work surface, I have my die cutting machine. Can't wait to get my new one here shortly from Stampin' Up. My Stampin' Chamois to clean my stamps. So usually when I start to work, I run out to the kitchen, get this wet and squeeze it out, and then I have it ready to use right here and clean my stamps. I have my heat tool plugged in if I want to do any heat embossing. And in this basket, I have my dies and other attachments for my die cutting and embossing machine right there. So let's go through, I'll show you a little bit of what I have down here in the bottom of this table. This table and my cabinet, by the way, I just kind of inherited both of them, and they've been really nice. I can't exactly tell you where to go buy them because I did not, but they've been really nice to organize my supplies. So let's go through these drawers. In the top two drawers, I have my punches. So on the top, I have, these are kind of my basic shapes, my circles, my labels, the triple banner punch, the ones that I use a lot, the real basic ones. They're in this drawer. In my second drawer, I have some of the more specialty ones, like butterflies and flowers and, oh, you know, balloons and hearts and things like that. In my bottom drawer, I just have some odds and ends. So I have my embossing supplies, I have some Stampin' Spritzers, my Stampin' Mist to clean my stamps if I'm using my Stampin' Scrub instead of my chamois. Here I have a little organizer with some of my Stampin' Spots, or little mini ink pads that you can either get with the paper pumpkin kits, or you can order some of these in the catalog, or you can get the uninked ones and create your own. So I have some of those here. My brayers, my watercolor pencils, just some odds and ends down here that I don't use all the time. We'll open up this little door right here, and I have a couple of organizers inside. These are bead organizers, and I did this years ago. I need to update them with our current Stampin' Up! Colors, but inside I have a sponge for all of the colors. Some of the colors I have a sponge dauber as well, and then I made the labels up here for the colors so that I can look and see Bermuda Bay is here, Tempting Turquoise, which is one of our retired colors that I need to update, would have been here, and I can pull out the right sponge for my project. In these drawers, this one I just have odds and ends, scissors, washi tape, regular tape, Post-it notes that I use for masking techniques. Here I have some of our packaging, like some of our clear bags, or special envelopes, the small ones. And in the bottom drawer I have extra blocks. So if the few blocks that I have on top of my table aren't enough for what I'm working on, I reach down here and I grab another one. We'll show you these totes right here. I really like having these within reach because I can pull them out, grab what I need out of them, and then stick it right back. So this one on this end has my ribbons and embellishments. So I attempt to keep them organized, as you can see here. I have a little basket on this one end that keeps my sequins, my pearls, all my embellishments organized here. So this one is what things look like sometimes when organization does not happen. This is full of all of my new embellishments and ribbons for the holiday catalog. And as you can see, it needs a little love. So I'm going to have to organize that sometime. This one right here is a little bit of a catch-all right now. I used to keep long paper strips in this one, and I cleaned out most of them. I do still keep some in here because if I want to stamp a greeting on just a long narrow strip of white cardstock, I just grab one of these out. So I have some of those in there. There's some baby wipes if I need to wipe anything off. And my Stamparatus is what lives in here on the top of this tote. Under the Stamparatus, I have my grid paper for the Stamparatus. I have a few templates that I've made for the Stamparatus, for the circle stamping, the wreath stamping. If you've seen my information on that, they live under here. I also have my Stampin' Scrub and some Stampin' Mist in here if I want to pull that out and clean my stamps that way. So I will keep walking over here on my knees. Right here, I have a 12 by 12 organizer that I keep. If I have 12-inch long scraps, if I'm scrapbooking and I have long ones, I keep my bigger scraps in here. And I also have sections in the front for all of our specialty papers. So my foil papers, my glimmer papers, our window sheets, things like that, they each have a section up here. So I can keep my full sheets, and I also keep my scraps in there with those, so I know where to go if I want some gold foil paper, for example. This right here has no purpose whatsoever. It's just here because that's where it landed after I moved. Over here, I keep my stamps in these drawers. I keep all of my older stamps down on the bottom, and I keep my newer stamps, like all of my new holiday supplies are right here in the top one. So I try to leave them in there until I've used them at least once or twice, and then they get mixed in with the rest of my collection. Here, I keep the cardstock that I use on a regular basis. So in this basket, I have card bases already pre-cut and organized by color and ready to use. So if I want a rich razzleberry card base or a just jade card base, I can reach in here and grab one, and I don't have to go into my other cardstock supply to get one of those out. Now, if I reach in to grab one and I'm down to one, or maybe I've run out, I grab a few more pieces of cardstock, cut them all down to card bases, and then put them in here so that that color is resupplied in my little basket. Pull this forward a little bit. So this is a photo organizer that has different sections you can lift out that I have turned into a paper organizer for my scraps, as you can see. So they're in here organized by color, and anytime I need a scrap, I can look in and see if I have a scrap in that color. If not, I know I'll go grab a full sheet of cardstock or one of my card bases and trim it down. But if I have scraps, I want to use those. So when I'm done working for a day or every couple of days, if I have scraps laying on my table, I'll organize them into this, and then they're ready to be used later on. So they're all organized by color. I have card fronts pre-cut and ready in a couple of these. So these are all my white ones. And here I have pieces in different colors that are about the size of a card front organized. And at the moment, I also have my embossing folders here because they outgrew my basket of dies right here. Okay, so let's look at the cabinet. I'll show you what's inside of here. So we'll start up top. I'll talk about the doors right here. So I got these magnetic sheets at some point, and I taped them up. It's not very pretty. I just use masking tape. But this has made it really nice to store dies that I use a lot. So a lot of my basic shapes I have in here. So if I want one, I just come over and grab it, use it, I can put it right back, and I don't have to dig through my collection of dies to find it that way. I have all of my extra cardstock, my full packs up here. My partial packs I store in this tote right here. And I'll pull out one of these packs and show you. I organize these with some little tabs. I think these are Post-it brand, and it's a repositionable adhesive on them. So I wrote my colors on here. I put these towards the back of one of those packs, and then I have all of my colors organized and labeled so I can reach in and grab the color that I need pretty quickly. So I have my full packs of cardstock up here. I always try to keep at least a pack of each color on hand. So if I pull a full pack from up here, I know I need to reorder one. I write it, my little Post-it note right here that I need to reorder that color. Up here in this corner, I have envelopes. I go through a lot of envelopes. I have them stored here. This shelf right here is a little bit of a catch-all. I have cards that I need to stamp my name on and finish up. I've got some crafting snacks here. Shh, don't tell. Don't come and raid my stash, and don't tell my kids either. Here's just an extra organizer that I can use for cards or something whenever I get more organized. Here in this paper pumpkin box, I have my last few months of paper pumpkin stamps and extra embellishments, extra pieces and parts, so I can use those on some projects. Here in this organizer, I have our designer papers. So when I open up and use designer paper. I leave it in the same packaging that it comes in. I try, if it's one of the fully wrapped pieces, I just cut it across the top, and then I can use it kind of like a big pocket. And I keep my full pieces stored in here, I keep my scraps stored in here, and I keep them stored in this organizer. Over here on this side, I have some of our grid paper, which I love. I also keep the cardboard pieces that come out of our designer paper packs. I keep them and use them for different projects. Looks like my child has been crafting with some stencils on this one right here. This plastic organizer, I didn't really have much of a use for, and it turned into being a really nice place to store my projects that I have coming up for videos. So after I have a project ready, I store it in here. Here's the materials for my upcoming bingo class right here. Here is an upcoming video. So I have my sample projects. I have my stamps already mounted on the blocks ready. I have my ink pads that I need for this project, and the stamp set and the dies and everything. So that's what I use these drawers for. So you may not need to be storing supplies for an upcoming video, but let's say you have a project that you're in the midst of. Having some shallow drawers like this is really nice to be able to put all those things away, have them out of the way, and be able to work on some other things until you're ready to get those back out and work on them some more. Down here on the bottom, these are some projects that need to be finished up. Down in this organizer, I have 12 by 12 cardstock, and I have my extra packs of designer papers here. And down here, I have a basket full of adhesives, extra baby wipes, and my travel bag. So my craft and carry tote, my Stamparatus bag with my second Stamparatus, and my organizers with even some more blocks that I can grab one of these and go if I'm going somewhere else to craft. So I believe that is it for my stamp room tour. Thanks for joining in. I hope this gives you some ideas that you can use to organize your craft space. And I hope you will join in for some of my other videos. Visit my blog, scrappingstampingandstuff.com, for some more ideas. Here in a few days, I will get this all posted on my blog, and I'm going to have some up-close pictures of how I have everything organized. So if you couldn't see very well during this video, I'll have some better pictures for you to check out here in just a few days. So thanks for joining in. Have a great day, everyone.